Everything I showed you tonight is going to help you grow better quality berries. But in the last 4 years, we talked about mites, botrytis, anthracnose. At the end of the day, none of that is what put the nail in the coffin. At the end of the day, if I can help you produce more berries, and Lord knows, you know I try. If we can produce more berries, in the end, we can't be successful. What's the point of getting better? What's the point of getting better if we have a system designed? We have a system designed to get the food to the consumer. You as the grower, I always said the grower's on the bottom. Stuff runs downhill. But the grower's not on the bottom. The consumer's on the bottom. Without the consumer, we don't exist, boys. It's got to come back to the consumer. So what does the consumer want? Number one, he wants food safety. Number two, he wants less chemical footprint. I'm in the chemical business. But we're going to have to listen to what the consumer wants. The government will tell them they want a less carbon footprint. But the number one thing is to be able to afford to eat healthy. If we can't feed our families healthily, we have to eat McDonald's hamburgers because we can't afford to buy a clamshell full of strawberries. The American housewife cannot afford, if her family needs 1 clam of strawberries per person in her family, she can only afford to buy 1 clamshell for the whole week, for the whole family. Sometimes the year is $7, $8 a pound. I don't know too many people, even in this room, that's going to pay $8 a pound for a flat of strawberries, unless it's organics. But yeah, we're a part of this system. We've played the system. And guess what? The system's winning. We're losing the war, guys. Some want to talk about, well, it's the big farmers. They want more. They want more than their share. No, there's no credence to that. That man's growing his business just like you're trying to grow your business and just like I'm trying to grow my business. That's the American dream, to get better, to grow more quality berries. But if we're not going to get paid for quality, why are we trying so hard to have quality berries? When the berries leave here, the best berries we grow are in January and February. And that's always the price that the stores stay a little too high in the store and we start picking production. And those berries go to $3 and $4. They don't change in the stores. The stores are still $7 and $8 a pound. But here we are with beautiful fruit. Would love to sell it to you for $12.90, $14.90 a flat. We could make a living at that. But we're being forced every day to sell our berries or go dump them. Supply and demand, they say. It's not supply and demand. It's supply whenever they decide to create the demand for you. This is the best farmers in America in Plant City. I believe that. You guys try the hardest. If you had a problem in your field, you would have fixed it already. If it was nematodes, if it was spiders, you're on top of that. This makes 5 years in a row that we've done the same thing, and now we're doing it to each other. It was not Mexico that caused the problem this year. It was not California that caused the problem this year. It was ourselves. Look around the room. It was us. We did it. We've got to change the system. It's broken. It's designed for you, the American farmer, to fail. To keep you going one more year. The growers on the bottom and the consumers on the top, but we got to get through this mess. We got to get through this big cloud. On my side, the suppliers, that's me. We got the university. Well, we're fixing the system tonight. We're below you guys now. And we're going to push you ahead. We're no longer going to stand back and wait any longer. We're behind you guys. The chemical company in this room, they're behind you. That's why they're here. They came because I asked them to. They came because they love you. They've grown. They know you. They come every year, 5 or 6 or 10 times. Sometimes you can't get rid of them. But they know who you are as a person. The chain stores, the brokers, it was never designed like that. God said, whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. We expect to sow our strawberries. We expect to take care of them the best we know how to do with the tools that are given to us. And at the end of the day, It's about feeding the world. It's not about strawberries. It's about agriculture. It's about tomatoes. It's about pepper. It's about citrus. It's about corn. It's about soybeans. It's about all agriculture in America. Guys, we are the silent majority. If we won't stand up, who will stand up? This is the heartland of America. This is what this country was built on, was agriculture. The problem in this system right here is the consumer can't afford to buy it, and we can't afford to grow it, but everybody else in the middle is doing okay. I find something wrong with that. When the best farmers in America and the best farmers here in Plant City doing everything that they know right, their wife is doing the books, they're doing the spraying, their kids are bringing it to the market. If they can't make it, I might suggest to you that something's broken. Getting bigger is not the answer. My good friend Chris Deal just had a conversation with me today about the tomato industry. Guys, if we don't learn from the past, how could we ever move forward? We're destined to repeat it. Over the last 15 years, the tomato industry has grown from 150 growers down to a handful, maybe 10. Two of the biggest ones just went bankrupt last year. I say to you again, the system is designed for the American farmer to fail. So what are we going to do about it? Me and Carl had a conversation last week, and he said, Josh, I'm tired. Me and Sam had a conversation last week. He said, Josh, I'm tired. We've been doing this our whole lives. We've been trying to make a difference our whole lives. And here we are in the golden years. And we just don't know what to do anymore. Well, I tell you that there's an answer. The answer is we stand up and quit accepting that's just the way it is. Back in the time, 240 years ago, when we started this country, we went out there and we planted our corn and we took it down and we sold our corn to our neighbors. That's how communities survived. Well, I'm here to suggest that in 10 years from now, if something doesn't happen starting tonight or tomorrow, that Carl Grooms is going to quit. I just can't do it anymore. There's no quit in Carl Grooms. There's no quit in any of you. You farm until there is no money left because you have to. It's because what we do. Let me show you a way to change the system. We take the control away from everybody above us, and we take it the way God intended it, and we take the grower and we put it right underneath the consumer. We market the consumer. The consumer doesn't know that we get $3 for a flat of strawberries, but they pay $56 in the store. It's a perishable commodity, they say. Well, then get the price low enough where they can afford to buy it and you won't have to throw so much away. We got to develop a hedge of protection around these growers. Right now, the FSGA's in this room, FFVA, Farm Bureau, FDAX, and IFAS. And I call on each and every one of you to stand with us as growers. Get behind us. Protect us. I know you can't do it on yourself. It seems like a daunting task, but there are thousands of associations just like this one across America that are looking for help just like we are. Well, let's be first. Let's stand up first. God brought these people in this room tonight because they care about agriculture and they care about America. University of Florida, please collaborate with the other universities in the United States. Each and every one of those universities had the most brilliant minds in the country, but yet we're all segmented. Come under this organization with us and help us. Share information. The answer that I need may have already been discovered in California, but we just don't know it yet because somebody behind us, a smart doctor that God put in the right place at the right time, he's already discovered it and we don't know about it. There has to be a cry for unity for the American farmer if we're going to exist in the next 10 years. Do you think us going, if not, we're going to get regulated out of business? They want to say food safety. Well, I challenge you to say, when we're out of business, do you think there's going to be food safety coming from these other countries? They have no regulations. They pay their workers as much in a day that we pay an hour, and we provide them housing, and we provide them a ride to the store. I'm tired of the American farmer being villainized that we don't take care of our people. These people are our families. They've been with us for 30 years. Food safety. Every one of my farmers live in the middle of their farm. Their kids play on the playground behind their house. Do you think for 1 second they would do anything to harm their children? How much more would they do to protect your children? These are the same people. These are the people. This is America. And we have to get the government under control. There's a place for the government. There's a place for wage and hour, because it's important that we pay our people right. There is a place for the Department of Housing, because it's important that we house our people right. But when we get charged $10,000 for a broken screen, when it was fixed when they moved in, but that's not acceptable. When we get fined because a bed is on the floor, it was on post when they moved in. It was on a frame when they moved in. They chose to move it to the floor. There's room, there's a need for the government, but not a need to control. A need to support. Adam Putnam is our Commissioner of Agriculture. Adam, I wish you were here tonight, but this is the problem in agriculture. NAFTA is a problem in agriculture. It helped a lot of industries around the United States, and I don't know anything about NAFTA, but maybe somebody new that's going to be in our box does know about NAFTA. We could compete with any country in the world. We have the best, brightest minds of anybody in the world, but when the playing field is not level, when you take methyl bromide for us 10 years ago, and they still get to use it because it hurts the ozone layer, we were told we couldn't use it anymore. They still can use it 10 to 15 years after our. That's not fair. We pay our guys a fair wage. We give them a place to live. They pay their guys the same amount in a day as we pay an hour. That's not fair. How can I compete with that as an American farmer with NAFTA? We can't. We can't do it anymore. We've cut every cost there is to cut. We will not cut corners because farmers don't cut corners. Because if you cut corners, that's where you make a mistake. Get behind us and quit getting in between us. Albert Einstein. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again without getting the same result. Well, guys, we're here. It's insane right now. I have my growers, the ones that have been here for 30 years, saying, Josh, I don't know why I'm doing this again, but I just have to do it, and I'm asking you to go with me. I'm one of the suppliers. Down here, I'm the closest to you, so I get hurt the most. But in the end, if it's not for you, I don't exist. And if it's not for me, the manufacturer doesn't exist. And if it's not for us, we're not going to be able to feed the world. Cheap price you want? Affordable produce? So do we. That's what we want. But when we're at a business, do you think these foreign countries are going to sell us affordable produce just because we need it and because we want it? No, we're the only thing in between these other countries taking advantage of America, sticking it to America. If we're at a business, all produce, all food will be higher. I mentioned this earlier, but you have to learn the rules of the game. And then you have to play better than everybody else. We need to change the game, boys. We've been playing their game as hard as we can play, but it's rigged. There's good news. In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity. Guys, if we're not going to do this for our ambassadors, for our kids, I look around the room, the strawberry industry, we're blessed with some great young farmers underneath the age of 40 years old. There's not too many industries like this where you have the children of the farmers and the children of the grandfathers that are ready to take over and pick up the fight. But this is one there is. If these ambassadors came to me and said, Mr. Josh, I want to get into agriculture, what should I do? I'm ashamed to say I would have a hard time telling them. I don't know, get in the chemical industry like me. But that's not where it is. I couldn't tell him peppers, tomatoes, strawberries, we're struggling. That's a shame because that's what this country was founded on. Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve impossible. We're just a small industry, they say. I'm just one man, they say. But no, you're not. There's people just like you in every county, in every city, in every state in this great union. We just got to find them. We got to reach out to them, whether it's social media, whether it's some of these new technologies, whether it's through the universities. We have to do it, and we have to start now. I got 5 challenges for you, and I'm going to be done. Number 1, we have to get nursery transparency to the grower. It's a must. If we're going to be the best farmers that we can be, we have to know what's been sprayed. We have to know what's been taken care of. I need a grower commitment to excellence. We're not good enough, boys. We didn't do it good enough this year. We're good, but we didn't do it good enough. We missed some things this year, and it ended up costing us some money. We have to commit that no longer will we accept the status quo. Our commission is to feed the world, and it's you. I want a commitment to support Kenneth Parker and FSGA. God put him in that position for this time. He's the best man I know for the job. You couldn't put me out there because I'm a Marine. But Kenneth Parker is the right man for the job. We all know it. Let's get behind him. Let's push. Let's go. The board meeting should be full next week with your ideas. You guys amaze me. Again, I know every one of you. I know your tendencies. I know your habits. I know where you're excellent, and you guys are all excellent farmers. You get too far outside of Plant City, and they'll be like, Josh, what's a fumigation management plan? That doesn't happen here. We got great resources in the University of Florida. We got great people like Alicia Whitten with the Extension Service. We got great people in Farm Bureau that care. FFVA is already sitting there. FFVA, I encourage you to work with us. And we got a commissioner of agriculture, and God, I pray he's governor in 2 years. But we need to get his ear, and we need some change in America. Bring everybody together. And we got to promote consumer awareness. We have to go to the TV. We got to go to the radio. We got to go to our church. We got to go to our families, and we got to show them the problem. It's not about money for us. It's not about greed. And I'll end with this. If not now, then when? I'm tired too, boys. We've been working hard at this for a lot of years. And we could pack it in, or we could step up and do what's right and know what we know to do. And that's get behind you. I know that's a tough way to end. I know I don't have a lot of answers. But I'm willing. I told Carl, pass the mantle, I'm ready. Jump on my back. He's not heavy, he's my brother. I'm ready to take this fight on. Kenneth Parker's ready to take this fight on. And I'm asking you to stand with me and the other guys in the room. Quit fighting each other. It's not worth it. In the end, it leads to bankruptcy. Let's start changing the system, and let's start it tonight.